Welcome back to the preview show. I'm Casey Campbell. That's Marty Zakala from Arson Trackside. The usual suspects, Mitchell Brewer and Jonathan Fiel, will be back next week. How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, no problem. So I got to ask you about Watkins Glen. I'm sure you had a fun time last week there. It was, I bet it was amazing getting to talk to all those drivers and stuff. I'm sure you had an absolute blast.
It felt so darn good to be back at the Glen for NASCAR coverage. I was there a month ago covering IMSA, but IMSA is nothing like NASCAR. I think I was the only media member who decided to camp out there the entire weekend. Everyone gets those fancy 3-star hotels or something like that, but nah. The real experience is camping, sold out for the first time ever. 6th straight year of a sellout. Fans definitely miss NASCAR, and they wanted to be back. Incredible crowd for all 4 races. When you think of how big they are, the crowd was amazing. It was excellent. It was great being back at that media center and finally introducing myself to a couple of people that I didn't have to, so we didn't have to go on Zoom. Finally did it in person. Got a couple of emails back yesterday on that. It really gave me some motivation in the future. And but yeah, looking forward to going back there next year. And I already miss it. It was a fun weekend covering all 4 races and talking with a bunch of drivers.
Oh yeah, big time. I'll have my fun next
Yeah.
week, so.
You'll have fun talking with the top 20 in Cup and then top 5 in ARCA, Xfinity, and Cup.
Yeah, yes, sir. So kind of going into this weekend at IMS, we're going to the road course this week. And first time that the Cup Series is going on the road course. Apparently there was a lot of things and people are saying, oh, this is, where's the Brickyard 400? Why are they doing this? It's all that. But remember, that place has always been like, they didn't even want NASCAR there to begin with. And now it's like, okay, now we're going on the road course and stuff. So what do you think of all that?
Yeah, it's kind of a little bit weird when you think about it. Because when you think of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, you think of the Indy 500. That's why NASCAR went to the Brickyard in the first place, to be on the oval. And when talking with a bunch of drivers in advance of next weekend, Kyle Busch and Kevin Harvick said that it's not going to feel like Indy because when you think of Indy, you think of all the history on the oval from spin and win to literal being Scott Goodyear in the closest finish in Indy 500 history, to a lot of incredible things that have happened there in the Indy 500. And then NASCAR, the ticket sales have been going down since 2008 when it comes to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the oval. The racing is, some people have said lackluster in some ways. There's not a lot of passing. It's pretty much like a follow the leader type basis. But now we're getting to go on the road course, and we got a sneak peek of it last year with the Xfinity Series there. The racing, and especially in the final laps, was incredible. I hope we get to see that once again, especially with 750 horses and low downforce. I hear the ticket sales are over than what the Brickyard 400 has provided in these past couple of years. I'm still looking forward to the racing regardless. I know it's still, the debate is mixed between Indy's not Indy or Indy is Indy. The winner still gets to kiss the bricks, like AJ Allmendinger said. I think, though, it's going to be a good race weekend. You've got the full race weekend, practice, qualifying, and race. You got the Cup, Xfinity, and IndyCar Series here. You've got a 1 p.m. start time for the Cup Series, which I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah. It'll be fun. I know there's I think there's some other programming on NBC. I think that's why they're doing it. And I know also the IndyCar Series is going to be there too. This weekend. It's a big weekend for motorsports. And I know they're also go ahead.
Absolutely. And something we should talk about as well with IndyCar. I don't cover it a lot. However, my biggest takeaway as we enter this weekend, there are 28 cars that are entered for this weekend's race. This is the most in a non-Indy 500 event since Kentucky back in 2011. That's according to Nate Ryan of NBC Sports. I believe it's now official with the entry list being released on IndyCar and its website and social media platforms. And it's going to be really fun to watch on Saturday afternoon.
Oh, of course. It's definitely going to be fun. IndyCar, Xfinity on Saturday, the Cup Series on Sunday. I know there's also, I didn't. We also have to mention this, of course. How funny is it that we're going to Indianapolis after of course, the passing of Bob Jenkins earlier this week? If you haven't seen it, I don't want to touch on it a lot because I got the opportunity to talk to Paul Kelly from Indianapolis, from IMS, the editorial director for IMS, IndyCar, and Penske Entertainment Group. One of the best at it, and I think I'll be having somebody else to share their memories of Bob, kind of maybe after this, maybe after the after maybe early part of next week. So stay
Yeah.
tuned for that.
Yeah, without no surprise to anyone with what happened to Bob Jenkins earlier in the week, passing away from his battle with, I believe, brain cancer. There's definitely, without question, going to be a touching tribute all weekend long at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. I don't know what they're going to do in honor of without question, they'll do a moment of silence and a tribute to Bob during pre-race ceremonies. I don't know if they're going to make any like track decoration saying thank you, Bob. But we all got to remember he was recognized around the NASCAR and IndyCar community, obviously at NASCAR with his work on ESPN, and then IndyCar, the Indianapolis 500, the IMS radio network, and then working from 2009 to 2012 for Versus/NBCSN.
Yeah, of course. And go check out I did post the video of on my YouTube channel with Paul Kelly of IMS, and of course Paul did an amazing job with that. So I thank Paul for that. As I said, we might get somebody else on this week. Couldn't do it yesterday. Had some issues with that, so looking forward to get that. I'm not going to reveal who it is yet. So. Anyway, Dave Calabro, my buddy AB, will be. Of course, Alan Bestwick will be in that. The IMS booth is in good hands. So,
and you should add too, Jamie Little, I believe, is working the weekend as well. So I believe
will
that's
be there, of course, Indy native.
Yep, the
Who knows
first.
if Vince Welsh will be there because I know he also lives in Indianapolis.
Yep, and specifically Jamie Little, the first female public address announcer at the IMS.
Yep,
Speedway.
Jamie will be there, of course. Got to talk to Jamie earlier this year. Good stuff there. Should be an interesting weekend. So we're going into the second. This is the last weekend of practice and qualifying for a while before the championship race at Phoenix. So that should be interesting because we're going to go with we're going to just show up and race for maybe the next 12 weeks before we get to the championship. What's that going to be like to have practice and qualifying back once again?
Yeah, mainly while it will help a lot of drivers gain experience, they don't have to do as much prep time for like simulator on iRacing or their special manufacturer simulator, or going off to teammates for advice, whether it be on the Xfinity side or any other prior experience at the road course. Drivers will get a feel for the track before race day. And I think it will help out mainly the Hendrick guys, the Joe Gibbs guys. I think you'll still see those main guys out there. But I think what the practice and qualifying sessions will really help to is AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. I don't know if people are talking about them this much for the Cup side of things. They will be talking about them a lot from the Xfinity side of things after what we saw last weekend at Watkins Glen International. But with practice, with qualifying being out there, they don't have to rely on the qualifying formula. If we did have that qualifying formula, I don't think they would be in, or one of two of them would be in for this weekend. So this really helps them out. Obviously Cindric and Allmendinger have raced on the track from last year, so they definitely have experience to take away that they could use towards the Cup race this weekend, or for Cup practice and qualifying, I should say. And these two could be underdogs too. You got to remember when we watched Austin Cindric earlier in the year at Circuit of the Americas, he was inside the top 5 at the start of the race, as well as leading a lap or two. On then at the Daytona road course, Allmendinger was inside the top 5 and top 10 throughout maybe most of the race, or maybe the entire race too, and ended early though for him.
Yeah. So of course there'll be 40 cars for, I think, the Cup race. Xfinity race is going to be topsy-turvy. There's a lot of new faces in there. Basically the all road course specialists that the BJ McLeod team has, and JD Motorsports got a lot of them as well. So it's going to be a tough way to get in. Going to be interesting to see how who misses the show, who doesn't.
Yeah,
it's going to be insane.
And something we got to think about too when we look at the Xfinity side of things, and this is what we've seen a lot of when we go to a new track in the weekend, you see a lot of Cup drivers take this extra opportunity to go down to a lower series to get more experience. We saw that last weekend on the Cup series or on the Arca Menard series side of things. Chase Briscoe was there. Austin Hill was there. Riley Herbst, Ty Gibbs. I mean, obviously with Ty Gibbs, he's competing for the championship. And I talked with all of them before practice and qualifying that same session, and they said this was an opportunity to get an extra feeling. And just look at some of these this entry list that we have on here for the weekend. Yep. Kevin Harvick driving a BJ McLeod Racing, yep. Number 99 machine. Just going up here through the entry list. This is going to be pretty cool. Sage Karam gained some extra experience in the number 31. I don't think he's on the entry list for the IndyCar race on Saturday. Austin Dillon back in the Hour Motorsports number 23 machine. So it seems to me there are less drivers on this entry list, Kyle Tilley as well, that aren't competing, that are really competing in Cup this weekend compared to like what we saw on Road America weekend.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be good. And one more thing before we get into the fun picks that we'll get into. Ty Gibbs. Yeah, he's good.
That was awesome.
When you get Austin Cindric and AJ Allmendinger, you gotta put him in too, because wow, that's an interesting.
Yeah, I'll just say it. I'll say it for you because I was there this weekend. You know, everyone expected a battle between AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. I said, watch out for Ty Gibbs with how he did at the Daytona Road Course, and as well as Mid Ohio. And guess what? He just took AJ Allmendinger and Austin Cindric to school in the final laps. I couldn't believe it. This kid, I think is a best of both worlds of not just the 54 car at Joe Gibbs Racing, but it's also the talent too. At the age of 18 and how much work he puts in to these race weekends, whether it be the simulator, whether it be looking at data, whether it be looking at video, this kid is really going to be a star in the Cup Series. I think this hype is like, it kind of reminds me a lot of when Chase Elliott was making his way up through the ranks up to Cup Series competition in 2016. I have a feeling next season he's going to take over the number 20 as Harrison Burton moves up to Cup next season. I asked Ty about that if he goes out to his grandpa, Coach Gibbs, makes a statement, but he says we'll see what happens. I think in layman's terms on what happens there. But Ty Gibbs is definitely going to be a threat to watch out for once again. Some of these tracks he hasn't even had experience on in the past, like Watkins Glen, like the Indianapolis Road Course. So this is going to be fun to see what this kid can do at IMS this weekend. If he wins here, this is going to be the biggest win of his career without question. And also, don't forget the 54 team. Couple weeks from now, the owners' playoffs will begin, and they've got a huge advantage on their shoulders with all the wins Kyle Busch has, Christopher Bell has, the 3 wins Ty Gibbs has.
Yeah. John Hunter Nemechek will be joining the fold next week. Denny will be in there at Darlington. So definitely going to be definitely for sure to watch. Okay. Time for the picks. Okay. By the way, Mitchell Brewer just texted me and he picked Austin Cindric for both Saturday and Sunday. So that's interesting. So that's,
that's a good pick, Brewer, because when we were back at the Daytona Road Course, actually, this was in the beginning of the season. Yeah. I was doing RS and trackside. I had Alex Hayden from Motor Racing Network on, a good friend of mine, on to preview the season. We had a segment or a quickie segment on what your boldest prediction was. That is a bold prediction, Mitchell Brewer. I did something similar where I said AJ Allmendinger would win the Daytona Road Course in the Cup Series with Colleague Racing, with his experience there. Obviously, it didn't go to what I thought was going to happen, but that's a good pick. That is a good pick. Saturday. Go ahead.
Yeah. Let's pick IndyCar because with them on the weekend, it's going to be there. So I'll start off. So it's been an interesting year in IndyCar, of course.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a fun year too.
Oh yeah. Last time we were there, IMS Road Course back in May, it was Rinus VeeKay who got his first win at the Speedway. Somebody else is going to get their first win this weekend Roman Grosjean. He's going to get it done.
Good pick.
Yeah.
You
He's
know,
gonna get it
that would
done
be
this weekend at
fun
the
to
IMS Road
see.
Course.
Yeah, you know, that would be a lot of fun to see Roman get it done.
Oh, yeah.
We got to remember he got the pole position
Yeah.
at the IMS GP, led the most laps at 44, almost gave Rick Ware a win. Think about that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I was thinking coming into the weekend, Simon Pagenaud, with how he did at the road course in 2019.
Yeah.
And we did hear some news. It's not officially
Ah.
news yet, but
Mhm.
a report that he could be losing his right at Team Penske in season's end. But
Mhm.
I'm gonna go with your points leader in the IndyCar series. He's got 2 wins this season. Had a top 5 performance. I think he finished 3rd on the road course there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Alex Palou, and this young kid's definitely impressed me ever since he moved to Chip Ganassi Racing in the
Yeah.
offseason.
Yep, got a chance to talk with him at Road America after the Road America win, literally the day after the Road America win. Really, really good kid to talk to. And by the way, one of the best out there, Amy Stock, of course, longtime PR rep for Jimmy Johnson. She's over there now with Ganassi. So good stuff there. Also, Jimmy Jam's going to be back. A lot of NASCAR fans are going to be happy to see him. Also, Cody Ware is going to be running in the IndyCar race as well, and Sage Karam, he'll be in the Xfinity race for Jordan Anderson. Also, Max Papis is back as well.
Casey, did you not see the news?
What? No.
He tested positive for COVID-19. He's out.
Did that? Oh, geez, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, that was news yesterday. I can tell you right here. I'm loading up J
Wow, I didn't even notice that. I've been out doing high school football previews and all that fun stuff. So I've been missing everything.
It's all good. Yeah, Pappas tested positive for COVID-19. JJ Yaley is driving in the Xfinity race. Pappas, get well, man.
Yeah,
well.
Yeah. Shout out to Max Pappas, and hopefully Chase Purdy, you're getting well too. So
absolutely.
Also, good stuff there. And okay, Xfinity time. All right, Marty, you go first this time.
Xfinity Series race. Oh man, with the finish we had last year, this could be a toss-up. I think Cindric can get it done here. Let me go back and look at the results from the IMS road course last season. Whoops, hang on. That was trucks. Okay. I need to look at the tracks. Yep. I think we're gonna see a battle between your same 3 drivers. Last time out, that being Allmendinger, Cindric, and Ty Gibbs. In the Xfinity Series side of things, it was Chase Briscoe who won there last year. And I think I'm gonna go with Allmendinger again. You know, Allmendinger came close last week, and yeah, he's a good interview. He's a good interview.
Yes, so, he is.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make the pick of Allmendinger getting avenging the loss he had last week.
Good stuff there. Well, John Roberts always used to say on NASCAR race day, he always used to say, stick with the Biff. And I always say, stick with the Gibbs. Ty Gibbs is going to get it done at the IMS road course. Yes, I picked him last week. First time I've picked Ty Gibbs, and he's won. I picked Ty several times this season. And every time he's in this race, he is a threat to win every single time. He'll be in there. He'll be in there at Michigan. I think his schedule is Michigan, Richmond, the Charlotte Roval, and Kansas, along with this weekend at IMS.
I'll give you an underdog. I'll give you an underdog too for the weekend, and that's going to be Alex LeBay. I believe the Mario Gosselin owned race team puts a lot of pride and effort more into the road course program, and LeBay, I would definitely consider a road course ringer. Watch out for him this weekend. Yeah. I would not be surprised if he got a top 10 or a top 5 finish.
Yeah, of course. And also, Ty Gibbs is going to have some colors on his car this week. Of course, if you haven't heard, Sports Clips will be his primary sponsor type thing. So exciting news there. Nice. Go get yourself a haircut over there. So
already did. Just got it yesterday.
Nice. All right. Time for Cup, and I don't know if you have any die casts on you, but I'll go first this time on the Indy road course. So we know the this trend of things that's happening because we know guys are good on road courses like the Chase Elliott's, the Kyle Larsons, and all that. But we know we have to stick with consistency, and that is Hendrick Motorsports. I'm picking Kyle Larson to get it done at the Indy Road Course this weekend.
I am going to go with the guy that had the fastest car at Watkins Glen, but finished in second position. And he is hungry. You could tell in his post-race interviews, whether it be with the media, TV, or radio, that he wanted to keep going. He wanted to win, even though it was only 90 laps. I think it's going to avenge his loss, and he's been very good on inaugural road courses this season. You saw it at Road America. You saw it at COTA. You're going to see it at the IMS road course. I'm going with Chase Elliott this weekend.
The all-star car from last year.
Yep, and it lights up too. I'm gonna give you an underdog pick too, and I would not be surprised if he was running up here inside the top 10 once again. I would watch out for Chase Briscoe. He'd be a perfect addition to your fantasy team this year. Reason why I say that: number one, he won at Indianapolis Road Course last year in the Xfinity Series. Number two, he's had a lot of good success at the road courses this season. Last week, got a 9th place finish at Watkins Glen, 6th place run at Road America, 6th place finish at Circuit of the Americas. So I lied on RSN Trackside when I said best finish of the year for Chase Briscoe earlier on Wednesday. That's his third best finish of the season. And it's kind of weird, Casey, to call the number 14 Stewart-Haas Racing team an underdog this season, considering their past. But watch out for Chase this weekend. Briscoe.
Yep, that's
or both Chases. I'll just say both Chases. Why not?
Both Chases, yeah. It'll be maybe a good day if you're named Chase. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely an interesting week at the IMS road course. We'll have to see how it goes. Trying something new, of course, with the Penske group now in control of this, and for the first time, fans are going to be allowed back at IMS for NASCAR. I know they had a huge turnout for the Indy 500. I think they'll have a good turnout. Yes, you know how much those Hoosiers love IndyCar. That in Greenville, South Carolina. Is Greenville, South Carolina not watching? What is Greenville, South Carolina not watching a race? Then, to be really honest with you.
Casey, let me tell you one more thing as well about the IMS road course this weekend. You just mentioned Roger Penske. I spoke with all 3 Penske drivers in the bullpen on Sunday in advance of IMS GP. And I just brought something up in my emails with Joey Logano. And it's not just another week from them. Obviously, this race is circled for Team Penske, considering it's RP's track that he owns. And so I spoke, and this was the only thing I got from this on the transcript Ford sent out. If Joey Logano went to Austin Cindric, or maybe even somebody from the IndyCar camp for advice on the road course, Logano said they already have. They do it in-house. All the stuff is in-house, so might as well talk to them. And the Indy cars are just so different compared to what NASCAR does that sometimes it's hard to even comprehend how far they can drive it down in the corner. The things they change, it couldn't be more different. But when it comes to Cindric and the Xfinity car, there's a lot that can help there.
Of course. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff from them. A lot of pressure pack for those Penske drivers because the next week, it's RP's home state. And, of course, my home race. And I'm so excited to be there and cover a race at MIS. Yes, I was there last year. And, yes, I was there in November for cross-country finals. It is going to be a fun place. I was at ARCA a few months ago in Toledo after I got to experience the open garage area for that. I know it was just an ARCA race is a big race to be at. Just let you know. It is. But to be at MIS for ARCA, Xfinity, and Cup, it'll be good to see everybody again. We'll just have to see. And of course, I know you're making the trip down there as well with the big camping experience out there.
Yep, absolutely. It's going to be a fun weekend down in the Irish Trails of Michigan International Speedway. Can't wait to be back.
I can't wait to be back either. It's going to be a fun, jam-packed weekend for me, and of course, be doing some media stuff in advance of this as well. So, yeah. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week. Enjoy the races at the IMS road course. The usual suspects will be back next week. and we'll talk to you there. Thanks for helping me out, Marty.
Thank you for having me, Casey.